Skiter, and I know that he was listening in, so we'll get him in here. Skiter, I'm sure you're listening to T's in-depth analysis right there on why he thinks Spirit Breaker is first phase worthy, but I want to ask you why Tundra is first phasing Spirit Breaker and why it's so successful for you.
I mean, I would say it's simpler. I don't know what exactly do you guys expect to hear, but he obviously got a lot of buffs, and since the map is so big, the hero seems to be pretty strong right now.
Yeah, I like it. I do like a good, nice, simple answer. I'll give you a simple question as well. How's your time been between Major and now? I know that we spoke to Snay the other day about how he's going, but what about yourself? How you enjoying that little bit of a break, or was there not too much of a break at all for yourself?
I mean, I personally had like 2 or 3 days of a break, so it's definitely better than nothing, but I wouldn't call it like a real break. But honestly, I don't really feel very burned out at all. I kind of like how Dota is right now. The fact they introduced this big patch makes it very refreshing and fun to play. So I feel like being burned out is kind of harder to achieve, I guess, at least for me.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about this big patch and a lot of new things to discover. Is there any carry that you really want to pull out that Ali just isn't letting you? When you guys are in drafting phase, you keep calling for it and he keeps saying no.
Not really. I mean, my team is always very supportive when I have some new ideas or heroes to play. But I mean, Watson tried to do the Magnus carry, and that's the kind of my answer as well. I feel like this hero is very fun to play on carry. Obviously, didn't work out for him, but that's the hero I'm definitely looking to play. I played a couple of times in pubs, and it's very fun. This whole harpoon skewer thing.
Awesome, I'd love to hear it. T, if you got some questions.
Yeah. So I had one question in regard to Twin Gates. What's your opinion right now with the fact that I think at least your team today was using them really well, with like UTPing to go for a quick kill, then going back? Like, do you feel they're a little bit, too good in the early game where you can just basically gank everywhere on the side lanes and then go back to farming if you have the correct heroes?
I definitely feel like it made the game more complex. There's more stuff to do on the map, which is kind of good, but at the same time, I don't like the idea that you basically only pay with the time, like as a resource, while using the gates. I think, in my opinion, it should definitely cost either mana or there should be some sort of restriction how many times you can gate. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the gate because it makes the game more fun, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of broken in the early game, especially.
Yeah, that was going to be my kind of follow-up question was, would you be opposed if there was like a charges, but you've already kind of answered that yourself. So yeah, I'd like to see some potential nerfs, like you mentioned, to gate maybe in the future, maybe a D patch, like a little twin gate nerf there.
All right, hey Skiter, a question about that last game. All right, you're laning, you're dealing with this Pudge. What was the general attitude like after the first couple minutes there when Kataomi was just like kind of owning? What were you guys saying in that game?
All right, when the game was paused because Saxa disconnected and he was like in diving tier 1 tower, I said, guys, I have as many deaths as I have levels. Because I had like 3 deaths, I was level 3. I was like, okay, time to deploy the Midas technology. But I ended up coming back and it was no need for that. Okay. But the Pudge, I mean, I kind of funnily suggested to look at first phase banning it because I watched the games against Liquid and the guy was hitting some insane hooks. So it definitely was in my radar, and the guy played really good as well.
No doubt. Thank you.
I do have a question off the back of that one then. Speaking of that Liquid Entity series, you said yourself that you're watching it. How much did that influence or impact how you guys prepared and played against Entity today? Like, were you looking at what they had done previously and that's where a lot of your bans had come from?
Yeah, the game, that series definitely gives you a lot of idea of what the heroes they think are strong in this patch. And since Entity missed the whole major, there wasn't a lot of info on their team. It literally was that one series and the bunch of pubs they played. So yeah, it was. We definitely, like, not me, but I mean, I look at the game briefly, but it was mostly Coach who did all the prep. I just kill some creeps and sometimes heroes.
Okay, because then I was going to ask, like, were you worried with how aggressive and fast the Entity Liquid games were? Were you afraid that was going to happen to you guys in Tundra?
Not really. I feel like nowadays, if you win like 3 lanes, it's kind of hard to not play fast. So I was kind of thinking if we win all the lanes, we're going to play fast. If they win all 3 lanes, they're going to probably play fast. So this series, we managed to, do pretty good in both lanes, both games. So it ended up
Mhm.
us being the one, in the aggression the whole time. But it would definitely be the other way around if they would win it. But I feel like it all comes down to the lanes nowadays.
Yeah, 100%. You guys had fantastic lanes. You took this series, so congratulations again, Skiter, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, and have a nice one, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Right.